There are a number of different ways you can go about playing Genshin Impact. For example, you could build a Hydro DPS Nilo, or even a physical DPS Kazuha. But what if we instead played Genshin Impact only according to what HoYoverse directly shows or tells us? That would take fun builds like this one right here and turn them into something that looks more like this. Our plan is to just play the game, do our dailies, fight some bosses, clear some domains. But throughout the entire process, we are only going to be using information that was given to us by HoYoverse. Also, shout out to Raiden for not critting there. So in terms of what team we're going to be using, it is going to consist of Mona, Yunjin, Xianling, and Bennett. Why this exact team, you ask? Well, it's because through their official character artwork or other means, we are able to tell what weapons we're supposed to give them. I don't want to rely too heavily on the character trailers or demos because they almost always give them the latest 5-star weapon just to entice people to pull. And also, I feel like that'd make the game too easy because then we'd just be using a bunch of characters with 5-star weapons. However, the one exception will be Mona because in her demo, she's using the Favonius Codex. We'll go ahead and give that to her. Then we can move on to Yunjin, and we're going to be taking the weapon from her official character art. And I mean, good thing is this weapon synergizes beautifully with her kit. Just joking. Xianling pairs very nicely with the catch, but we can't use that because her character art shows the white tassel. Now, I'm pretty sure in her trailer she was using Dragon's Bane, but I think it's funnier if we just stick with a level 1 white tassel. And then Bennett can be seen using a couple different weapons in different places, but in his official character art, he's using the Harbinger of Dawn. Now, unfortunately, I can't build the characters as HoYoverse would want us to because they always just put noblesse on everyone. It would be a good idea to level this up because then we at least get a crit rate boost, but hey, I don't really want to spend the materials there, so this is going to be our Xianling for the day. Yunjin is just on whatever gives her defense. It's not great, but it works. Bennett is on noblesse, and I'm not going to look at any of these artifacts because they all suck, which I guess means our Favonius Codex Mona is going to be main DPS. I don't see what could possibly go wrong here. Okay, listen, with an energy recharge weapon that's only level 50, this is about the best I can get her, which means I guess all that's left is to actually do our daily commissions. Of course, this one doesn't really require us to do much at all. We can just burn through the obstacles and completely ignore every enemy that spawns. I guess this is a bit of a PSA for anyone who didn't know. You can just leave that thing completely unattended, destroy the obstacles, and then go wait, and nothing can destroy it in the time that it's out for. Plus, you don't get drops from these guys, so there's no point in killing them. And I guess more importantly, they don't tell you to kill them. Because if they told me to kill them, then I would have had to because, that's what HoYoverse wants. I mean, this team, it works, I guess. It's a really good thing we spent all that time changing our team around and weapons and artifacts because all of that optimization is critical to deliver books. There's no way I could have done this with any other team. Last daily commission, defeat all opponents. Okay, very, very straightforward. I think I am capable of that much. Yeah, see, the reason we're not doing all that much damage is because we don't have noblesse on every single character. If we did that, these guys would stand no chance. Now, in terms of boss fights, the game doesn't really tell you what characters you should bring. So I'm thinking we just bring the same exact team and see how well it does against the boss. I imagine this is gonna go pretty smoothly for us. We put that up, we do a bit of whatever we're doing here, and I mean, it works well enough, I suppose. I'd of course prefer a little more damage than that, but then again, our DPS is on a Favonius Codex. I can't say it's exactly ideal. Come on, crit. That wasn't a crit, but it worked. And now, if any of you were playing Genshin Impact back when we had the Albedo Dragon Spine event quest thing, you might remember one little cutscene where they were all attacked by the fake Albedo. And that fake Albedo turned out to be a Cryo Whopper Flower. So I feel like taking these same 4 characters that were attacked by it and fighting the Cryo Registine is kind of the way that HoYoverse would want it. In terms of the weapons they used in the cutscene though, I don't have the Song of Broken Pines, so I'm gonna leave the Snow Tomb Star Silver on her. Bennett in the cutscene was using the Traveler's Handy Greatsword, but I learned today that I actually don't have one, and Mondstadt is 100%ed, so I'm just gonna leave the Harbinger on him because I have no other option. Amber was using the Favonius Warbow, and the Traveler was, of course, using the best weapon in the game, the dull blade. Now you might be thinking, isn't bringing Eula against a boss kind of overkill and you're just gonna one-shot it? Well, no, because she's not built. I am not looking forward to when this video is over and I have to try to fix everyone's artifacts, but this should work great. So we can just use Amber to melt the core. Beautiful. We can put down that's gonna do so much damage. Wow. And then we could definitely proc superconduct with the electro characters we have. I'm gonna be honest, I understand why the 4 of these characters could not defeat the fake Albedo in the cutscene. It actually makes perfect sense. Dendro, Cryo, and Pyro seems like a great combo. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the 77k. Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Though now that we've fought some bosses, I think it's domain time. I want to farm in this domain today, but the game tells us we need Hydro, Cryo, and Electro. Luckily, we already have an amazing build for our Eula, so we'll just throw some random stuff on Kaya. Oh, he's level 20. Oh, that's okay. Then Lisa can also just have some random stuff, and we'll bring Mona again. We now fill all the requirements, and we're not bringing anything that isn't part of those said requirements. And in case you're wondering why I picked Kaya and Lisa when I have characters like Raiden and Ganyu, it's because these are the characters they give you at the start, so they must want us to use them. In case you're wondering about how, like, you know, the deep synergies of this team work, we don't really consider that. That's completely irrelevant. Though I guess to an extent we have freeze and superconduct, although Eula immediately breaks the freeze and we have no sustain whatsoever. But this is what HoYoverse wanted, so it's gotta work. I don't... Uh-oh. Wait, no, the sword went off. It didn't even do the damage though. Look, it might not be the quickest or safest team, but we're still able to beat it, and we're rewarded with no reward. Okay, just one more run, but this time let's try to not let anybody die. So far, so never mind, not so good, and very not good. It's fine. I mean, they did put the statues of the 7 in the game for a reason, right? Just claim our drops really quick and we get gold. No gold. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? HoYoverse probably doesn't want us using Eula. I mean, just going off of character banners and reruns, I think they want us to forget she exists. In fact, if we just wanted to build a team that more so represented HoYoverse's beliefs, I think our team would look a little more something like this. The last domain we did was a little easy though, because they gave us 3 different elements to choose from. This one only recommends Pyro. That means I need to build a mono Pyro team for this. Of course, we're still going to be running these scuffed weapons, and I now believe we have the team we're gonna be using. Personally, I wouldn't bring a mono Pyro team in here, but maybe I've just been missing out. HoYoverse made the game, they have to know best. Though I kind of feel like bringing in Hu Tao is cheating a little bit. I don't actually have her built to the standards that I want her to be at yet, but she's still a Hu Tao. A C1 Hu Tao using Staff of Homa to be precise. So yeah, if you have a C1 Hu Tao with Staff of Homa, definitely bring them in. I don't think it really matters what else you bring with that. Although my Dia is on an EM build, so Mono Pyro is not the best team for that. And now HoYoverse does not outright tell you to do events that they put in the game, but since they put them in the game, we can assume they want us to complete them. So let's just go ahead. We'll take care of the events that are out right now. I guess we're already done. Unfortunately, there is no official guide to Genshin Impact from HoYoverse. And since there are no events, we're completely out of resin and there's no real end game content. I guess that means what HoYoverse really wants us to do now is collect some mint. All jokes aside though, I think this game is the most fun when you don't necessarily do what's expected to be done. And like I said at the beginning, Hydro DPS Nilu has been one of my favorite things I've done. But I suppose there is one more thing I have to do before we can say that we've played the game the way HoYoverse wants us to. And that is the wishing system. Now the thing is, I already have Shenhe, and I don't want Ayaka on this account, and I'm at 73 pity, so I'm just going to do a pull on the weapon banner instead, because that way I don't risk accidentally getting a 5-star. And would you look at that? We got a blue. So I think now we can officially say we've played the game the way that HoYoverse wants us to. Of course, if they had it their way, I'd probably spend some money on Primo Gems too, but I'm gonna pass on that. And maybe if someday HoYoverse puts out an official guide to Genshin Impact, then I'll have to recreate this video again following that. I mean, we do have this guide within the game, but it's just kind of like, okay, here's your next quest. It doesn't really tell you. First off, you probably want to build build this character, and then you want to go farm this domain. You want to try to fight this boss and things like that. With that being said though, I will see you guys next time.